I mentioned last week that our Servant Leadership Council would be getting together this past Wednesday, and one of the main items on our agenda was just to continue to pray through and discern and discuss when and how we should regather. And here's the bottom line that I want you to hear from me, and that is we have not yet set a date for regathering. But however, we do know at this point that we will not regather before Labor Day. Our overwhelming commitment to you is to bring you back when we feel like we can do so in a healthy way and in such a way that the worship experience is meaningful for you. So we're continuing to work really hard to prep our facility and to expand and enhance our online capabilities. I'd like to say just a little bit more about that. So pre-COVID, you know that we knew basically how to engage in worship in this room through public worship and live worship here. And then post-COVID, we have learned how to be able to webcast to you at your home so that you can see and experience the sermon and talk in the chat room, so that you can see the videos of the children's message as well as the time of worship. Now, when we do regather, we recognize that we're going to have at least 50, 60, maybe even 70% of our congregation that will continue to worship online. And so now the skill set we're managing and learning and preparing for is how to do both. How to have both people in this room and yet also be able to deliver a high quality online service. And so we're working really hard to get this together. Now, the main reason why we have not yet set a date to regather is simply we are watching COVID, and we want to make sure that our area is safe. We want to make sure that it's an appropriate time for us to come together and to spend time in this room worshiping God. We are preparing for a test run on August 23rd and August 30th. And so we're going to need up to 12 volunteers who are willing to worship with us in the building so that we can test our protocols. So as we continue to get ready, we want to ask about 12 of you if you'd be willing to volunteer to gather with us on Sunday morning, August 23rd and August 30th, so that we can do a test run. Now, as you can imagine, our protocols as we get ready are pretty significant. There are different ways that we are using the building. There are different ways that we are even engaging seating in this room. There are chairs all around the room set up even now. We'll do temperature checks at the door. Obviously, we'll have to wear masks, maintain physical distancing, and so forth. And so we need to do a test run. And so those of you who are willing to volunteer August 23rd, August 30th, please go to our website and notice the ways to volunteer. We're also going to be looking for other volunteers to serve in specific areas. What we do know is that we're going to continue worshiping God in using the tools that God has so graciously given us during this time. We're going to continue to support one another as we have done. We have walked through some challenging times as a congregation, as people have lost loved ones, as people have struggled. We've continued to support one another in every way possible. And we're going to continue to reach out on mission to our community. We continue to serve the least of these around us, even during this time. And so we're going to set a date at some point to regather when we feel like God is leading us to. And until then, we're going to continue ministering to our community and to our congregation in the ways that God has enabled us to. So let me encourage you to remember our nation in your prayers. Let me encourage you to do all you can to be a good neighbor in our community. Practice social distancing, wear a mask when you go outside. If you're not feeling well, don't go outside. You do all you can to help our area.